I believe there was some component, even consensual sex between two people who had consumed some degree of alcohol. They deemed it as SA.
If it's consensual, I don't count it as SA, but
they did. Also depends on body weight. So 2 drinks for a 5'2" nothing versus a 6'7".
I'm sorry, you're not going to be blackout off of 2 drinks, even if you're 5 foot tall.
All I'm saying is like alcohol conversion in height and weight for 2 people who weigh very different things.
I mean,
might be
I'd
different.
argue men drink more heavily than women. So I gave you an example where it's like the equivalent, but let's say that the man's more drunk than the woman. Is that SA?
Yeah, if he's more drunk,
he's not blacked out.
But I mean, I don't even understand how you would gauge
men can be raped by women.
If 2 people go out and they get drunk, no 2 people are going to have the same level of impairment, right? No 2 people are going to have the same level of impairment. So one's always going to be slightly or even more less impaired than the other person, even if they're both drunk. I don't even know how you would quantify that. Like, how would you quantify that? Oh, well, you had 6 drinks and she had 3, so now you're equally impaired, so now you can have sex? Like, that just seems absurd on its face, right?
Okay,
well, sometimes men get also more aggressive when they've had more to drink. So if they're sloppy drunk, they could still sexually.
Women get more aggressive when they drink too.
Women definitely get aggressive.
Okay, so if we don't agree with that study, then let's find another one that says what the percentage is.
There's the DOJ statistics. Damien, can you try to find the DOJ statistics? But okay, how about this? A woman has there's no alcohol involved. A woman has consensual sex. She regrets it the next day. Is this SA?
No.
Okay, but I mean,
it happens. But it happens.
I want to say a lot of things happen doesn't make it right.
But that happens more than often than not.
I'll move things on here shortly. I guess really quick, those of you, you said 20%, you said 15 to 20. Does this also apply to like your family members, like cousins, etc.? So like 1 in 5 of all your family members?
I mean, I was taught by my dad to protect myself from men. So, I mean,
yeah, but like, are you willing to throw like 1 out of 5 of your like blood under the water and say like 1 in 5 of your male family members are like inclined to SA a woman?
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I know for a fact that some of them have.
Okay. Well, it does happen in families.
I never had.
Actually, it happens more.
I mean, are you asking?
It happens more in families than just random people on the street. Like, typically, it's somebody that you know or somebody that is
fair.
I want to say it's somebody's friend, it's somebody's son, it's somebody's dad.
It's really
like,
sick.
Yeah. But so, I guess final thing here on the bear thing. So, is the position that.
So wait, it mostly doesn't happen by strangers.
It mostly happens.
So if it mostly doesn't happen by strangers, wouldn't that be a strike against your logic of thinking that responding randomly with a stranger in the woods? Wouldn't that significantly lessen the idea that you would be SA?
How many women are alone in the woods just spawn?
Like
how many women on average just spawn into the woods? Like, it's a hypothetical situation.
Yeah, I know, but hypothetical situations are designed to test your logic. That's why we make them up, right? We make them up to see if we can determine what is true and what is not true, and if we're using logic and reason in order to make determinations about things, or if we're just using pure emotion or something like that. So I have no doubt that you feel that this is true, right? And there's many things I feel are true, but the reason we use a hypothetical is to test if the feeling makes any sense. And so if the idea is once we get into the nitty-gritty, wait a second, almost you all agree it's mostly somebody you know who would do something like this. Wouldn't that be a strike against the idea that spawning with a random stranger in the middle of the woods, you would actually be less likely than you would even with somebody you knew?
Good point.
Not necessarily.
I think they're saying that the chances are just higher in general, no matter who you're around.
The reason why it's usually higher with people who you know is because they can have you in a compromising position, like watching you while your parents are gone, like something where you're alone, where you're isolated. That's why it's typically someone you know.
We're talking about adult women here. Adult women, this type of thing. Even adult women are still.
It can still be when you're isolated and when you're alone. And if you're in the woods, you're isolated and alone.
Adult women are still more likely to be SA'd by people they know, right? But most of the time, the people that they know are people like male friends of theirs, things like this. Those are the people who are and yes, it is true they're in a compromising position, but it seems like it's this intimate knowledge you have with this person that makes them feel like this is in some way appropriate, or that they can get away with it, or this kind of thing. Do you think if you respond with a random stranger in the middle of a forest, that you guys would have way bigger things to worry about than whether or not, he wants to just like attack you, it just seems kind of silly, right?
Maybe it's also a perspective from people on the streets, strangers on the streets that come approach us and stuff too.
It makes no logical sense to choose a bear over a fucking stranger in the fucking woods. It makes no logical sense to choose a bear. Statistically, biologically, like absolutely none. We are running ourselves in circles, and it's like we are emotionally like politicizing the emotion and the feeling of course, we're not saying like, yeah, SA fucking happens and it sucks, and the statistics, it is real. That is real. That does not devalidate that point at all. Logistically, statistically, for the fact of the argument, a bear or a man, the odds of survival, immediate survival, you would choose a random man.
I would not.
That makes no logical sense to me.
Wait, really quick.
I grew up in rural Arizona, and I've been around bears. I've seen bears. I used to go camping all the time. I feel very comfortable in that.
I think it just depends on your experience.
It's just an opinion.
We'll explore all this really quick. Pull up the meme. Get the meme going. Okay, so brown bear up to 9 feet tall, up to 1,300 pounds, claws 4 inches, by force 1,200 psi, pelt for 5 inches, speed 35 miles per hour. Kyle 5'10", 174 pounds, project engineer, said hi to you at the gym. So like, look, again, yes, there's some percentage of men that would victimize you terribly, but like, you have to attribute such a large percentage if you're doing a risk assessment of like, yeah, I'm gonna pick a bear over a man. Like, your risk assessment is flawed.
The question wasn't about logic. Logically,
it is
it's a logical question.
Let me finish.
That's
the pain that someone might feel after being SA'd is going to stay with them for the rest of their life.
But is it a guarantee that you get SA'd? It's not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee. But
you said, what did you
the
say?
bear,
2%. You said it's a 2% chance.
The bear. From my experience, the bear is probably going to do one of two things. It's going to probably like eat me, or it's going to leave me alone. It's just going to
just eat you later.
Go away.
Not eat you later, just walk away.
No.
I like you.
Hang on.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
How many bears have you encountered?
Listen, I don't want to encounter them. I'd rather deal with a person than a damn ravaging bear. This sounds
not
ridiculous.
guaranteed to eat you.
You've never encountered.
And a man ain't guaranteed to just take your womanhood and just
You're right. So that's why
y'all.
this question,
Y'all got to
there
cut it
is
out.
both sides to it.
It sounds good. It sounds real good. We live in a world where your feelings matter more than logic, but she said it herself. It's not even about logic. So if it ain't about logic, it don't make sense, because there's nothing in your life that logic can be missing and you can succeed from it. So let's cut it out and be grown up in here.
I think people are just doing it based off experience. So they're just based off experience.
Also, just very quickly, that Arizona only has one species of bear, black bears, and there's only about 2,000 of them in the entire state. So they're probably, the likelihood they came across too many probably isn't high, unless you were going to like a bear reserve or something.
Which I have been before, and also I have been immersed in wildlife from the time that I could like walk. So I feel very comfortable with animals. That's my personal opinion, and that's based off of my experience growing up around animals. I had a mountain lion in my clubhouse as a kid because I grew up on 5 acres, and I felt very safe just watching it from my fence with binoculars. I was about 10 feet away from it. My parents didn't see anything wrong with that, and they let me do that, and I feel comfortable with that. What I don't...
Let her finish.
Your new name is Dancing with Mountain Lions. Dancing with Mountain Lions.
What I'm saying is, I personally, this is my opinion, I feel like more comfortable with that than I would a random man who I don't know anything about.
Okay.
But he can at least...
That's my opinion.
Can I just say one more thing?
Go ahead.
At least the man, there is a potential... Because I'll use your view, but the fact that you're ignoring the ultimate potential of a human interaction over a ravaging beast?
It wasn't ignored.
Hold on, sweetheart.
I understand. I just said it wasn't ignored. It wasn't ignored.
You got it. Hold on.
Thank you.
The fact that you're ignoring the potential.
It wasn't ignored.
Oh my God,
stop.
sweetheart, you triggered. I get it. I got you. I know you mad.
You got it.
The fact that you're ignoring the potential for a human interaction over a ravaging beast shows the lack of logic and the assumed negativity of men by most women. You really think if you move that fence and you and that mountain lion chill for a week, he won't attack you? Like you can't even, the fact that you're not even assuming that maybe I can talk to this man. You can't communicate to that bear at all. I don't care how many times you fed it some crackers or something. He will hurt you at a higher rate than a human being. But the fact that you're just denying the fact that maybe I can talk to this person, maybe I can communicate, you just denying all of that. You've talked to way more human men than you've ever talked to lions and bears, oh my, in your life. And you're just gonna ignore that. You're gonna ignore the fact you had that cool guy you went to school with, your cool uncle, your cool brother, the cool guy at the store, the guy that helped you get the gas that time. You're ignoring all of those scenarios of positive men for that small list of negative men as opposed to a fucking bear. Just shows to the lack of logic of the modern woman. Like you can make all the excuses you want, but this shit don't make no damn sense.
Thank you for assuming that it was ignored, but it was not.
It was not ignored, and also
Shit sound crazy.
Excuse me?
Go ahead.
It sounds crazy.
Okay.
Well, that's your opinion.
It is.
Is it sexist? Are you guys willing to admit that your position is sexist? Against men?
Sexist?
Against men, yeah.
I think that
Can you not be sexist towards men?
No, you can be sexist towards
Okay.
men.
Is it sexist?
I wouldn't say it is.